Ladies and gentlemen, the situation in California is getting worse by the hour.
Catastrophe in California. A Los Angeles disaster movie roars to life.
Whoa! This was like an 80-mile-an-hour blowtorch.
I came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to.
And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, I don't know. Do they want the state empty?
And as we're seeing the worst natural disaster in US history in dollar terms, BlackRock is hiding something very, very big. And we got a new report on why they had to extend their deadline for reporting on some critical information. And in today's video, we're also going to go up to what led up to the crisis in California, because the mainstream media is still not telling us weeks after or 7 days after what really caused this fire. We've seen reports of people starting fires and then actually getting released just days later.
At 4:32 p.m., we received a 911 call that a suspect was attempting to light a fire in the community of Woodland Hills and was being detained by residents. Officers from LAPD's Topanga area responded and took that suspect into custody. And once we learned that this suspect was a possible arson suspect, our Major Crimes Division responded to Topanga Division, along with Ventura County sheriffs, who was the lead in the Kenneth fire investigation. But they responded, they interviewed this suspect. After the interview and additional investigative steps, looking at some additional evidence that was present, they made the determination that there was not enough probable cause to arrest this person on arson or suspicion of arson, and therefore this person was arrested on a felony probation violation.
And some people are starting to question, like Mel Gibson, was this all planned? Because people, what you have to know is the perfect scenario was built up month after month leading up to this crisis. California and Gavin Newsom did everything in his power to make this crisis to be as bad as possible. We've got leak reports on Smart LA. We've got reports of huge developments announced in December 2024 for new housing estates to be built in California. And we've also got insiders telling us that just a few months ago, California dumped 114 billion gallons of water into the ocean right before this crisis began. But not only that, we've got so much more to cover on what's going on in this crazy crisis in California. Because now Gavin Newsom is calling for a huge bailout from the federal government. He's now telling the rest of America, look, I know I made a lot of mistakes. I know I did everything in my power to make these fires as bad as they could possibly be. But now you all need to foot the bill. So everyone, this is going to be a very, very important update. You're definitely going to want to watch till the end. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the news, the facts, and the data. Well, okay, first things first is this, everyone. We're getting updates that the situation in California is about to escalate over the next 24 hours. So look at this. LA fire updates, extremely critical fire weather forecasts for Southern California. So we've got the sad news that unfortunately 24 people have passed away. 12,000 structures have been scorched and 60 square miles have been scorched by the fires. Now another fire has broken out in Ventura County as they brace for worse fire conditions on Wednesday. So again, this is something we're seeing. We're seeing fires just continue to spark up across the whole state. And they're still not admitting that there is people out there lighting these fires.
Not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire, and they're actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires.
Are they paid by someone? Is this an act of terror like what we saw on January 1st? They're still not giving us the answers that we desperately need. But this is leading to some theories here, and a lot of people are talking about this Smart LA. This was a plan that they announced a few years ago where they want to make Los Angeles a smart city by 2028. The Olympics are coming in 2028. Now, it is very, very hard to build or get any approvals for any developments in LA. So maybe they needed some kind of event like this for them to actually build the plan that they wanted. So it says here, we live in a world full of urban challenges, from racial injustice that impacts our minority populations to natural disasters that threaten safety and property to environmental changes that affect the very water we drink and the air we breathe. Well, it looks like all these situations have just got worse. To address these challenges, cities seek tools that can possibly transform the urban environment. The most promising of these tools is technology. Yep, that's right. Get your social credit scores checked out, guys. The technology enables the city of Los Angeles to efficiently and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors. In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. Well, I don't know about smartphones. I think it's making us pretty dumb. I remember I used to be pretty good at getting around cities, but since Google Maps, my memory for getting around cities has become poorer and poorer. This is why the city of Los Angeles strives to be smarter. Well, first you should probably figure out on how to stop your city from burning to the ground. So not only this, but I found this report. LA City Council advances rezoning plan to meet state housing goals. Now, this was done in December 2024. Just a month before these wildfires broke out. So listen to this. The City Council Tuesday approved a plan to rezone the city in a bid to boost construction of more than 250,000 new affordable units. Now, here's the thing. There's the most expensive real estate in the world is in California. Do you think these people in their $50, $100 million or even $10 million mansions are going to want cheap housing next to them? No, they would never approve this. But a lot of these people, they're now going to lose their home. Their insurance may not cover the cost, and then they may be in one of these new affordable, which I don't know, is probably going to still be $1 million each, units. But like I was talking about earlier, everyone, I found a report. This was published 4 months ago on California Insider. It's a great channel. He interviews a lot of officials in California and brings a balanced view instead of the crazy radical Democrat views in California. And we can see in this title, 4 months ago, California is about to dump 114 billion gallons of water into the ocean. And he's got a lot of new videos coming out with a lot of officials, a lot of experts to show you how bad the situation really is in California and how the officials did everything in their power to make it as worse as possible. But okay, probably what you saw in the title on what BlackRock is doing. So while this crisis is unfolding, BlackRock is trying to hide something very, very strange. So look at this. BlackRock faces new deadline from US regulators over bank stakes. Because look at this. The firm has a fresh demand from the FDIC over its stakes in banks, and moves come after BlackRock failed to meet a January deadline. So that's right, while these fires are going on in January, while these crises are happening, BlackRock does not want you to know what they're doing. So the FDIC may begin an investigation into the firm and demand more information from BlackRock if it doesn't make enough progress towards resolving the issue. That may include the FDIC issuing a subpoena to the firm and lead to more compulsory actions, one of the people said. And I think we do need an investigation to BlackRock. If you think that Amazon and Tesla and Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are the most powerful and richest people in the world, no. There are many firms out there in Wall Street that are much, much more powerful than them. Firms like BlackRock control assets worth $12 trillion or more. Not just them, other firms like Vanguard, they're really the ones that control the United States because they control the money supply, they control where capital goes to, so if no one plays along with BlackRock or Vanguard, they could completely destroy their business. So the FDIC and Director of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has pushed repeatedly for more oversight over large asset managers, arguing their size and concentration ownership could give firms undue influence over the management and strategy of US banks. And I completely agree. Now, also what we have to talk about with this crisis in California, this could potentially lead to a financial crisis because we're seeing hundreds and billions of dollars of wealth be evaporated and literally be set on fire. And this is going to cause a huge insurance crisis. And again, Americans from other states, there's no fault of their own, they're going to have to pay the bill for this. So look at this report here. California's insurance crisis just got a whole lot worse because more than 10,000 buildings are damaged or destroyed across the country. And according to the latest estimates, this could cost upwards of $150 billion. But here's the thing, inflation is going to go through the roof. This is going to be very, very troubling for the Federal Reserve that's trying to cool inflation because they're going to need a huge amount of labor. Their wages are going to go up because there's going to be a supply shortage. They're going to be able to demand higher wages, and a lot of material costs are going to go up through the roof as well. So they may say, okay, this costs $150 billion today, but 3-4 years down the line, I think prices are going to double or triple, making this cost much more expensive than people are expecting. Now, again, something that happened before these fires, everyone was warning California that this was going to happen, and this makes many people believe there's no way you can be that incompetent. This is criminal negligence. Because State Farm non-renewed approximately 1,600 policies in the region in 2024. Of approximately 30,000 homes and 42,000 apartment policies, it dropped statewide, citing rising costs and risks. So that's right. California is trying something called socialism. They're trying price controls, but this simply cannot work when you have companies who can just go to another state. Because California will tell them, look, you can't lift prices. Well, if a company's losing money, they're either going to move to another location or you're going to shut down. You can't just run a business on a loss forever. Now, State Farm's copying a lot of the heat right now, but it wasn't just them. 7 of the 12 largest insurers, including State Farm, which represent about 10% of market share according to Department of Insurance data, paused writing new policies since 2023. And some of the largest insurers have recently requested to do price hikes of up to 30% because they know it is such high risk in California. It's already known for its wildfires, but the state has done everything it can by dumping water, by not letting any controlled burns, by not cleaning their forests, and we're seeing a homeless crisis at the moment in California. And what a lot of the mainstream media is not talking about, these homeless people have set 14,000 fires in 2024. Around the state, they're setting fires to stay warm. A lot of these people are mentally ill, they're not well, and some of them are arsonists and they're setting massive fires across the state, but none of the mainstream media will admit it. Because they know California got $24 billion to address their homeless crisis, but where is the money? California also issued a bond, billions and billions of dollars worth of bonds. Voters paid for more dams, more reservoirs to be built to store more water, but nothing has been done for over the past 10 years. But guess what, everyone? If you thought Gavin Newsom couldn't be more scum, look what he's doing now. He's now using this disaster to raise money for his Democratic campaign. So look at this, everyone. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Just launched a new site to ensure the public has access to facts-based data around the Southern California wildfires. Now, he got fact-checked on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. The website that Gavin Newsom linked to is not a state website, but rather takes you to his political campaign website. The link to donate to Cal Fire Foundation takes you to Act Blue, a Democratic fundraising platform that takes 3.95% of all transactions. But it wasn't just him. Look at this. Elizabeth Warren. To help support the communities around LA being devastated by the wildfires, you can split a donation between the Los Angeles Fire Department and United Way of Greater Los Angeles. 100% of your donation will go directly to these organizations. Again, they were fact-checked and community noted. This is not a link to a charity. It is a link to a Democrat fundraising platform where they take nearly 4% of all transactions, and they actually show you where you can really go if you want all of your money to go to the people affected by these fires. So everyone, I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, what does all this mean in simple terms? What this means is, I'm not saying this was done on purpose. I'm not saying this is some conspiracy theory, but I just think it's very suspicious that Gavin Newsom did everything in his power to make this crisis as worse as it possibly could. He did everything he could to not prepare for these fires that were coming. Everybody with half a brain warned him. Joe Rogan warned him. Donald Trump warned him. All the insurance companies were saying, look, your state is now unlivable. It's uninvestable. It's uninsurable. We're all leaving. Everyone has been leaving the state in droves. They're having a huge exodus of all huge companies. We're seeing Meta, they're going to be leaving. We saw Tesla leave. Company after company is getting out of California. And here's the problem when you try to be a socialist. Eventually you run out of someone else's money. So if all the billionaires, all the wealthy go out of California, well, the state is simply going to go bankrupt. Now, I'm not saying taxes are bad, but here's the thing. If you see that your taxes are going to real tangible benefits, like for example, if you see you pay high taxes, but you see there's great schools, there's great public transport, the city's safe, you're very safe going around, there's good air quality, the streets are clean, they're preventing wildfires, they've got plenty of water, there's a good healthcare system. If you see these real tangible benefits right in front of you, you'll be, okay, look, I know taxes are high, but I don't mind paying it. But what you're seeing in California is the highest taxes in the state, but the state is simply collapsing. And many people are wondering, how did Gavin Newsom afford that $9.1 million mansion on a $200,000 salary? I think we all know, everyone, he's getting kickbacks behind the scenes. And again, I think this is going to lead to a huge crisis, and we don't even know yet how much this is really going to cost. But everyone, what do you think about this crisis? Do you think it's all just a coincidence, all these things happening? Let me know down below. Now, for all my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.